Hey everyone, giving you a little bit of behind the scenes. Overland Bound headquarters. It's about a 10 by 10 room. These are actually about 500 emblems that'll be going out soon. There's a computer where I do my video editing, but you can see. I want to do a shout out to Outdoor X4. We're going out there to shoot some photos because we're going to do an article for them. Very glad to do it. We're very much in alignment in terms of what overlanding is all about. Per usual, we got the 3 cases in the works. We're going to check out what we got, what we don't got. We're going to pack all this stuff actually. This is all coming with us. This is all going to go on top of the truck because we need this gear. You know, we just moved into this place, so I'm kidding. This is just, we haven't. The other thing is, when there's packing to be done, you know, like we're packing up the rig because we're going to go out and we're going to explore. Mrs. Overland Bound, she always helps.
It's not true.
A lot.
Wait, no, I help all the time.
So we're all loaded up here, headed again to Sequoia National Park, and internationally renowned photographer Baza J. Holmes is already starting the photo shooting with his gear and his equipment and making us all look really cool and epic and adventurous. All right, so we are headed out to Sequoia. Now you guys have been out to Sequoia with Overland Bound before. So on this trip, what we're doing is we're going out there, we're going to take some photographs for Outdoor X4 magazine to do a little bit of a trip report, let people know what they can see and how to get out there. And the other thing I'm going to try to do for you guys is I'm going to do maybe 1 or 2 technical how-to videos. Might start with some winching. Maybe we'll work with the differential lockers. We might talk about airing down the tires a little bit. But whatever tips and tricks I think of when we're out there, I'll try and capture them on video so that you guys can see some of the things we do to make life easier out there, or safer, or what have you. All right? Cool. So, you know, no big deal, it happens. Like, you know, we drove 120 miles off course. You know, you can't get it right every single
60.
time. Only 60. But if you multiply that times 2, because you got to go up and then you got to go back.
I was looking on the positive side.
I think, you know, I know Shaver Lake up here. I know the Strawberry Lake up here. It's awesome. And I've just been up to Bald Mountain, and for whatever reason, I thought we need to go this way. So, you know, that's cool, just because it means that we'll be setting up camp, you know, in the dark and stuff, and, you know, rock crawling at night. It's cool. I mean, we get to see all this lovely country, and look at this country. It really, really is lovely. All right, we're just buttoning up. This is our campsite last night. Might look a little familiar. I've been in these parts before, but we're already breakfasted and the rig is loaded up. Point out a couple of things. I'm not sure you'll be able to see it on the camera, but there's a little bit of snow up on the peaks. Normally, what we'd like to see in California is a lot more snow, and it is kind of sparse at these points. We did see a couple of patches coming in, but we don't have enough water up here this year. But in a few minutes, we are gonna hit the trail and see what we find out there, do a little bit of exploring. I'll take some more GoPro footage out there. I know that the scenery here is absolutely epic. So, a couple of last straps, tuck things away here at camp, and then we'll be hitting the trail. So I said we would be doing some tips and tricks while we're out here in Sequoia. Baz just took some awesome photographs. He's doing a little camera cleaning right now. They weren't staged at all. We were going over some epic terrain. And here's one of those tips. If you drive forward to a location like this, right? You see where my tracks are? And you drive up to a rock like this. And then you see, sorry about the wind, folks. I know it's probably killing the microphone, but you see a drop off like this. Stop and don't go any further. Pro tip: you want to put her in reverse and then go back. Sequoia National Park. Look at those trees and these awesome rocks and this great epic trail. Now, before too long, because this 4x is tiring work, we're gonna scope out a place for lunch. And keeping the camera rolling on this little bit of technical trail here. But what we refer to this as kit and play. This ain't nothing. And I know on that GoPro camera, it doesn't look as epic as it actually is.
It's a riverbed. Dry riverbed.
But maybe as I apply my brakes and I continue to slide down the hill, you'll get an idea of how steep it is. Lizard. Here we go. Now, you'll hear the back bumping because the FZJ80 baby got back. But I have 1/4" steel plate back there, so it just doesn't matter. Basically, it's another part of the suspension.
Just don't get your fingers trapped in it.
Dude, do not. There's another pro tip. I said we were going to be doing some tips as we go on the trail. If your car is grinding against rock, do not put your finger between the rock and the car. Now,
I'm in a rock and a hard place.
That's probably where that saying came from. Now, I will. Oh,
just pick that trash up.
See that? We got some trash out there, and we're gonna get. I'll hold your camera. Let's get it. It was not booby trapped. If it was, it means they're trying to capture nature conscious individuals. Just one little slip and you get a dent. You just got to keep that in mind when you're out here. If you make the choice to go on technical trail, there's a chance you're going to get some damage, and that's okay. I don't like dents in my rig. I don't. But the scratches and the scrapes, that comes with the territory. You got to be willing to have scratches and scrapes. And you can tell who uses their rig if they have scratches and scrapes, and they should have. It just means they're getting out there. Alright, so we're the first on this trail this year, so we have some obstacles. And here, this tree has fallen over the path, and I've got a winch. I could back up there and pull the tree out of the way. I could chop it with an axe. I don't have a chainsaw. I could do a number of things. But it's short enough, small enough, that what we're going to do is we're just going to drive over it. And you'll see when I come over, I'm not going to drive straight over it, because if I do that, I might just high center. When you do something like this, you want to take a pretty good angle so that you have traction on as many wheels as possible. But this is easy stuff. This stuff is kit and play. We'll just come right over the top. All right, so clearly when that tree fell over, it had a little bit of a break in the center, so it went ahead and broke all the way. Something this high, this is gonna be no problem for you. Just for the record, my rig it's got 2.5-inch lift, Old Man Emu suspension. It's got 1-inch spacers on the rear, and this height is no problem. What you do wanna be careful of is running over these guys. If you run over those guys, that can puncture your tire, and that is no fun. But I was watching, making sure that I rolled over a clear area, and if you've got any kind of clearance at all, no problem. So this next little bit of trail, we're going to run right over the top of some large rocks. And I think that's actually the best path so I don't get caught in the sand. But I'd call this trail, you could call this trail technical. You know, I mean, it's not that big a deal, but it's technical. What we're gonna try and do, I've run this trail before, and what we're trying to do today is we're gonna try and run it without having to use the winch. But the very next shot may be me pulling out the winch. So we'll just see how this goes. So last time I had used the winch. This time I did not. I took a different track and stayed out of the soft stuff, though I had to hit that very large rock to keep traction. That's what kept all four wheels spinning. Now, differential lockers, fully locked up. So I was doing a combination of keeping it slow. Didn't want to go too fast because with everything broke, you're gonna break your truck if you push it too much. So I just kind of went between, you know, finessing my momentum to bounce up over those large rocks and not torquing it too much, so I was gonna break my truck, and it worked. So I get a little achievement badge because I got up this trail without having to use the winch. Good stuff. Thanks, guys.